现在，请中华人民共和国商务部部长王文涛主持开幕式。Now let's welcome Commerce Minister Wang Wentao of the People's Republic of China to moderate the opening ceremony.
Your Excellency Premier Li Qiang, Your Excellency leaders of countries, heads of international organizations, and friends from afar. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, good morning. Welcome to attend the opening ceremony of the 7th China International Import Expo and Hongqiao International Economic Forum. With President Xi Jinping's personal attention, guidance, and facilitation, the CIIE has traversed 6 years of extraordinary journey and actively played out our 4 main functions as a platform of international procurement, investment promotion, cultural exchanges, and openness and cooperation. It became a window of China building a new development paradigm, a platform to promote high standard opening up, and a international public good enjoyed by the world and welcomed by the international community. We have carried forward the theme of new era and shared future, the aim of which is to expand mutual opening up across countries and regions and to inject new opportunities and momentums for mutually beneficial cooperation. Today, we are honored to have the presence of the Premier Li Qiang of the State Council of the People's Republic of China, and he will also deliver a speech. We also have guests from around the world who also address us. Our guest of honor, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim of Prime Minister, and Prime Minister Abraham Aripov of Uzbekistan, and Prime Minister Bektenov of Kazakhstan, and Prime Minister Oren Erbadan of Mongolia, and Prime Minister Milos Vucevic of Serbia. In addition to that, Director General of WTO and Okonjo Iweala and Secretary General of the UN Conference Trade Development Rebecca Grispan will also join us online. We have 80+ ministerial level guests from over 40 countries and regions and international organizations, and as well as ambassadors from countries, leaders or representatives from international organizations, and lead officials and multinational and think tanks and business association representatives attending today's ceremony. This year's CIIE, we have participants from 122 countries and regions, and we have 73 countries and 4 international organizations participating in the countries' exhibitions, as well as 3,500 exhibitors, companies attending the business exhibition. On the sideline of the CIIE, we will also hold an announce ceremony of the World Openness Report 2024, and altogether 19 division or sub-forums and 110 supporting activities. Now, I'll have the honor to invite His Excellency Premier Li Qiang, the State Council of the People's Republic of China, to deliver a state keynote speech.
Distinguished leaders, excellencies, heads of international organizations, your excellencies, heads of delegation, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends, good morning. Today, the 7th China International Import Expo is opening as scheduled. Friends, both old and new, and from home and abroad, have come as promised. On behalf of the Chinese government, I wish to express cordial greetings and a warm welcome to you all. Hosting the CIIE is an important step taken by China to expand open cooperation. It is also a serious commitment we have made to the whole world. Since 2018, the CIIE has been held on an annual basis, providing a meeting place for friends across the globe to explore cooperation and renew friendship. Even the COVID-19 pandemic, one of the worst in history, did not stop us from continuing this practice. If the first CIIE was an invitation from China to the world, then each of the subsequent CIIEs is China and the world coming together to fulfill a mutual promise. Over the past 6 years, thanks to our joint efforts, the CIIE has established itself as an international public good that brings benefits to the whole world. During the past 6 expos, prospective deals worth more than $420 billion have been concluded. This year, we are expected to see a stronger turnout at the CIIE, with 152 countries, regions, and international organizations, and around 3,500 overseas companies joining the event, including 297 Fortune Global 500 companies and industry-leading enterprises, setting a new record. Because of the CIIE, coming to Shanghai in late autumn has become something many friends look forward to every year, which speaks volumes about our shared desire for open cooperation. On the other hand, the world is undergoing profound and accelerated transformation. The backlash against globalization is picking up steam. Unilateralism and protectionism are clearly on the rise, and global peace and development is confronted with growing factors of volatility and uncertainty. Against such a backdrop, it is all the more important for us to uphold, expand, and upgrade opening up, as it is the only truly effective way to promote lasting peace, stability, development, and prosperity. First, we must build stronger consensus for openness by keeping to our commitment. Opening up has come a long way at the global level. Yet many issues that should not have become problems keep emerging. In particular, various acts of dishonesty have triggered a broken windows effect, leading to increased rule-breaking practices. Only when all parties honor their commitment to opening up with real actions can we jointly foster an enabling environment for open cooperation and truly make opening up a universal consensus and conscious action. We should all observe rules underpinning the international economic and trade order and faithfully implement bilateral and multilateral trade agreements that have been signed so that all parties could be more proactive and determined in conducting open cooperation and support and complement each other's success on the journey toward common development. When it comes to promoting and expanding opening up, China has all along honored its commitments. We have fully delivered the pledges made when joining the WTO, reducing our overall tariff to 7.3%, which is even lower than the set target of 9.8%. We have followed through on all the opening up measures announced at the previous 6 CIIEs, including the recent step to remove all restrictions on foreign investment access in the manufacturing sector as promised. The third plenum of the 20th CPC Central Committee held last July rolled out a series of reform measures to expand high-level opening up. The Chinese government is operationalizing these decisions into specific tasks, work assignments, and division of responsibilities to ensure sound implementation of each and every item. Most notably, we will further expand institutional opening up, actively promote alignment with high-standard international economic and trade rules, carry out the strategy of upgrading pilot free trade zones, and explore high-standard free trade agreements and investment agreements with other countries. Delivering the promises made with actions will forever be a hallmark of China's opening up endeavor. Second, we must broaden the space for opening up by pursuing mutual benefit. Opening up is more efficient and sustainable when it's based on benefit sharing. The zero-sum and winner-takes-all mentalities will only hinder progress toward greater development. Therefore, we should continue to promote opening up in a spirit of win-win cooperation and with the readiness to help each other succeed. And we need to strengthen market and resource connectivity to open up new space for development. As the latest round of scientific and technological revolution and industrial transformation deepens across the world, a large number of new frontiers of growth are burgeoning. We need to advance opening up in a way that is more conducive to innovation cooperation and break barriers that constrain the global circulation and market-based allocation of innovation factors, so that countries could better harness their comparative advantages and cultivate new growth drivers together. China will further open up its supersized market, including implementing voluntary opening up measures to share more development opportunities with other countries. We will continue to expand the opening of telecommunication, internet, education, culture, healthcare, and other sectors in an orderly fashion, carry out unilateral visa waiver program, and follow through on measures such as zero-tariff treatment for 100% tariff lines to LDCs. China will continue to organize major exhibitions such as the CIIE, the Canton Fair, the China International Fair for Trading Services, and the China International Consumer Products Expo to a high standard, and strengthen and improve retail imports via cross-border e-commerce and other channels, so as to do a better job in buying from the world and benefiting the world, and to transform China's big market into a huge opportunity for the world. China stands ready to strengthen sci-tech and industrial innovation cooperation with all sides, particularly on artificial intelligence and other frontiers of sci-tech industry, to drive more robust economic growth. Third, we must better fulfill the mission of opening up by embracing our shared future. President Xi Jinping pointed out that mankind living in the same global village are increasingly becoming a community with a shared future in which everyone's interest is closely interlinked. In the face of the current impasses of global development, no one can stay unaffected, and no one can solve these problems on their own. Only by steadfastly embracing openness and cooperation and working together in unity, can we harness the immense strength of all humanity to collectively foster global development and prosperity. This is the new connotation of openness bestowed by this era of transformation and it is also the mission and responsibility we must undertake. China is an active proponent and practitioner of multilateralism. We resolutely safeguard the multilateral trading regime with the WTO at its core and support developing countries to better access the dividend of globalization. We have put forward 10 partnership actions for China and Africa to jointly advance modernization and further synergized high-quality Belt and Road cooperation with the development strategies of other countries in an effort to ensure that the gains of development can be shared by people from more countries and regions. China stands ready to work with all sides to enhance coordination and collaboration within international economic organizations and take the lead in exploring the possibility of implementing negotiation outcomes in areas such as the WTO's Investment Facilitation for Development Agreement and e-commerce agreement, so as to contribute greater strength to global development and the well-being of humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, the world economy is going through a weak recovery, and all countries are facing their own development challenges. As a Chinese saying goes, the fire burns high when everyone adds wood to it. To promote global growth, all countries need to play their part, and China is also contributing its strength in its own way. You might have noticed that on September the 26th, the Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee held a meeting to make further arrangements for economic work. The incremental policies we introduced have been very well received in society. In the recent period, major economic indicators have rebounded across the board, market confidence has significantly strengthened, and public expectations have notably improved. There have been many positive developments in the economy, all indicating a favorable outlook. Throughout this process, various parties have made active explorations and efforts, which have offered us many valuable takeaways. As I see it, there are at least 2 points worth mentioning. First, it proves that the solid fundamentals underpinning China's economic growth remain unchanged. In the first 3 quarters, China has secured a GDP growth of 4.8%, even on the basis of a high base number of last year, among the highest in all major economies of the world. In particular, new drivers of growth are growing and strengthening rapidly, with investments in high-tech industries maintaining double-digit growth. And emerging industries such as artificial intelligence, advanced manufacturing, and the green economy are experiencing robust development. Given its strong resilience, enormous potential, and ample room for maneuver, the Chinese economy will continue to advance along the path of stability and progress. Second, it proves that the Chinese government is capable of sustaining sound economic development. Facing downward economic pressure, we are well equipped to intensify counter-cyclical adjustments. We still have ample space for both fiscal and monetary policies and more policy tools at our disposal. Our macroeconomic regulation practices are also getting more targeted and effective. In the meantime, we focus on motivating all sectors to keep unlocking the internal drivers of the economy. Therefore, we are very confident in both meeting this year's growth target and China's economic prospect in the years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, opening up is a fundamental state policy of China. No matter how the international situation may evolve, China will not deviate from its chosen path. Instead, we will press on with unwavering commitment to high standard opening up and deep integration with the world. China stands ready to work with all sides to jointly build an open world economy, embark on the bright path of win-win cooperation, and create a better future for humanity. Thank you all.
Thank you, Excellency Premier Li Qiang's remarkable speech. Just now, Premier Li Qiang has summarized the positive achievement achieved by the CIIE over the past 6 years, pointing out that the CIIE is a common or shared commitment of China and the world working in the same direction. It proposed that China will work with the world to build a stronger consensus for openness by keeping to our commitment and broaden the space for opening up by pursuing mutual benefit, and better fulfill the mission of opening up by embracing our shared future. Premier Li Qiang also stressed that the fundamentals guiding China's economy remain unchanged, and the Chinese government is capable of sustaining the economic growth. And no matter how the international situation may evolve, China will continue to expand, opening up of higher standard and integrate into the world and to build a better future with countries around the world. Now I will give the floor to leaders of countries and international organizations. Now I will give the floor to Prime Minister of Malaysia, Mr. Anwar Ibrahim.
Good morning.
Excellency Premier Li Qiang of the State Council of the People's Republic of China, leaders, friends and business communities of the People's Republic of China, and the participants of CIIE, esteemed delegation from regional and international organizations. It is, of course, my honor to address this esteemed gathering, the 7th China International Import Expo, with the theme, New Era Shared Future. There's relevance to the theme of shared future, as referred to by Premier Li Qiang, in a period of unilateralism, of protectionism, of divisiveness and discord. And we have China, and the leadership of President Xi Jinping, promoting this aggressively, that the world should benefit everyone, every country, big or small. And the principle, the policy of shared future is well received by countries in Asia and Africa, in Latin America, and the global South. And that's precisely the reason why we in Malaysia agreed to participate in BRICS, and I take special note to the spectacular address by President Xi Jinping in the recent BRICS conference in Kazan, where he urged that the spirit of shared future be adopted against forces of discord and protectionism. We must build a community of a shared future to uphold global peace, global security, and to share the experience, the expertise, the technologies to the world. And I take note also of the address by Premier Li Qiang that the phenomenal success registered by China is an example of not only of issue of governance and correct policies, but a promising attitude to ensure that the trade and investments and economic prosperity will be beneficial to the international community. And this is, of course, not an easy remark because it is contrary to the expression of many powerful economies of the world. And that's why I think I would join many of my colleagues in commending China and its leadership for this departure from a very obscure, condescending, and unfair trading practices. The International Expo provides an opportunity not only for Chinese companies, but companies throughout the world, smaller companies, medium enterprises, to showcase their capacity, their capability, and to be able to attract import or new investments or an expansion. So multicultural cooperation for free trade and sustainability goals must be used as a tool to advance global progress equitably instead of as a weapon to quell competition, promote unfair advantage, or create conflict. As ASEAN chair next year, Malaysia aims to enhance regional cooperation and inclusive rules-based regional framework. In this vein, we would like to reciprocate the forward-looking, the shared future principle promoted by China, so that when we organize the ASEAN GCC of Gulf countries, Arab countries, we also include what is called ASEAN plus GCC plus China Summit, which will be of great consequence to the trajectory of regional growth and will make significant contribution to moving the needle on greater global parity in economic trade, investments, and economic advancement. As the world's fifth largest economy, ASEAN too has the potential to be a driving force for inclusive socio-economic growth that paves the way for an unprecedented era of sustainable shared prosperity. We're leaving no stone unturned, as you have seen here in China, in promoting good governance and combating and rooting out corruption, as well as implementing socio-economic and industrial reform agenda. We'll continue to be inspired, Premier Li Qiang, by your extraordinary success in battling poverty, which clearly signifies a major achievement in social engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, let me be reminded that the future is shaped by our actions today. I can't compete with the brilliance of Premier Li Qiang's reference to the fire, and we all contribute to provide probably small woods, but you provide the basis for this huge fire exercise. But I would refer only to the Chinese saying, 仙人在树，后人乘凉.
When everyone adds wood to a fire, it burns higher.
I am struggling with the Chinese, which I practice many times. One generation plants the trees, another enjoys the shade. Our efforts and sacrifice today will shape the course of our new era, creating a future that is inclusive, prosperous, and sustainable. A future that truly reflects our shared aspirations for our children and future generations. Thank you. 谢谢。
谢谢。
Thank you, Excellency Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. Now I will give the floor to our honorary guests. Prime Minister Abdullah Aripov of Uzbekistan. Your Excellency Premier Li Qian, Your Excellency Mr. Chen Jining, ladies and gentlemen, friends. First of all, I would like to extend our appreciation to the Chinese government, as well as Premier Li Qiang personally, for your support of an invitation you've extended to Uzbekistan. It is my great pleasure to attend today's forum held in Shanghai, which is an innovative hub in the world. I would like to point it out that 500 plus companies from Uzbekistan attending this year's CIIE. We have participants from across different sectors, for example, IT, chemistries, medicines, healthcare, and so on and so forth. We believe that China is a vast and attractive and ever-developing market. To seize this opportunity, this CIIE can help us better seize the opportunity presented in this market. The CIIE will be conducive to deepen our multilateral trade and mutually beneficial investment, as well as our cooperation. It will also ushered us into a new chapter of cooperation. Excellencies, in recent years, the relationship between Uzbekistan and China has been growing tremendously and serving as a model of friendly nations to our neighbors, and we have achieved great results. Such cooperation cannot walk away from the leadership of our two presidents, and thanks to their leadership, our cooperation was also booming. In January, our presidents have paid a historic state visit to China, and we have alleviated our bilateral relationship to an all-time high of whether it's comprehensive strategic partnership. At the end of last year, our trade volume has registered at 54 billion US dollar. The most important thing is that we both have willingness to develop this relationship, and we're sure we can fulfill our target of increasing our trade volume. And the organization of such kind of platform, the CIIE, will be very beneficial for us to meet that aim. And investment from China has increased by 4 times. And we also see rising investment in terms of from China, and we see greater cooperation in home appliance, agriculture, and so on and so forth. In order to make sure the facilitation of to facilitate Chinese investment, we have established a specialized zone of industry in Uzbekistan, and we are also carrying out major projects under the framework of Belt and Road Cooperation, including the establishment of the railway linking three countries in the in the Central Asia, and we're trying to build ourselves into a transportation system and become once again a hub of transportation and logistic, like we once did in the Asian Silk Road. Such connectivity will boost the attractiveness of our country in terms of foreign investment. Most importantly, it will also provide opportunities and betterment for people around the world. The bilateral relationship between Uzbekistan and China serve as a very good boost for regional cooperation. We have held for the first time local forum in Xinjiang between our two countries, through which we have strengthened our cooperation between our localities. Many years ago, our presidents have under the leadership of our presidents, we have undergone tremendous hardship of innovation and reform. In this process, we have achieved great results. Today, we are working with all people of our country to build a new Uzbekistan. I would like to name several figures. In the past period, we have doubled our GDP. For the first time, we have surpassed 100 billion RMB. We hope that in the next 5 years, we can further double this figure. In the past year, we have grown by 6% year-on-year, and we have grown the investments. We have seen over 60 billion RMB of foreign investment. At present, the cooperation with the international community on mining cooperation is also booming. We have planned a target of grain transition by the year of 2030. We have now abundant natural resources, including copper, mined, and so on and so forth. We have abundant natural resources being discovered on an annual basis. At present, we are very happy to see greater cooperation with countries around the world on economic and trade, and we welcome countries around the world to come to Uzbekistan for such cooperation, and we encourage the opportunities presented by Uzbekistan to work with our country. And finally, I would like to congratulate China, the host of the CIIE, for your excellent organization, and I hope that the CIIE can be a great success, and I wish you all the success. Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency. Now, I will give the floor to the Prime Minister Piktyanov of Kazakhstan.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, first, let me extend my gratitude to our Chinese friends and to you personally, dear Premier of the State Council, Mr. Li Qiang, for the warm welcome and excellent organization of the 7th China International Import Expo. Since its inception, the platform has played a vital role in promoting international economic integration. Kazakhstan's participation in the Expo opens new avenues for building stronger connections with foreign partners and bring our national products to global markets. Thanks to the political will of the leaders of our two nations, President of Kazakhstan Kassym-Jomart Tokayev and President of China Xi Jinping, our bilateral relations have entered a new golden era. Our enduring, comprehensive strategic partnership continues to deepen in this next 30-year chapter. At the same time, we have tremendous potential to further expand cooperation in all areas. In this regard, I would like to draw your attention to the following important growth points. First, trade and economic cooperation remains a top priority and a key driver of progress. Last year, China's trade with partner countries of the Belt and Road exceeded $2.7 trillion. Trade between Central Asia and China is also growing rapidly. It will reach $80 billion a few years later, with Kazakhstan accounting for over half. Bilateral trade between our two countries also reached a historic high of $41 billion. Looking ahead, we aim to double our mutual trade volume. We are confident that all the necessary conditions are in place to reach this goal. It's essential to continue creating favorable conditions for barrier-free trade and establish more direct connections between our business communities. E-commerce is also becoming an important area for expanding trade, offering new opportunities for rapid exchange of goods and services. Welcome cooperation on the Chinese President's initiative to establish a Silk Road e-commerce pilot zone. Kazakhstan's digital pavilions already operate successfully on platforms such as Alibaba and JD.com, and we are now also opening on Douyin. The next step involves building bonded warehouses and comprehensive storage infrastructure in Kazakhstan to simplify logistics through digital trade channels. Second, we need to enhance our transportation connectivity between our countries. Positioned at the crossroads of major transport corridors, Kazakhstan currently handles over 80% of overland freight from China to Europe. We will strongly support the Belt and Road initiative by developing multimodal transportation routes. This involves unlocking the potential of global corridors such as north, south, and east, west. Together with our Chinese partners, we are implementing large-scale infrastructure projects such as the Western European Western China Transit Corridor, a logistics hub at Lianyungang Port, a cargo terminal at Xi'an Dry Port on the border with China, a third rail border crossing, and more. We believe that these projects, among others, will help to enhance the system of transcontinental economic corridors, increase trade volumes, and improve the well-being of our citizens. We also invite all foreign partners to join us in advancing new projects in transport infrastructure. Third, we also pursue clean technology development. Decarbonization is becoming a crucial aspect of our cooperation. Kazakhstan was the first CIS country to ratify the Paris Agreement. We are committed to achieving carbon neutrality by 2060. We also plan to, by 2030, increase the share of renewables in our energy balance from the current 6% to 15%. We also attach great importance to our partnership with China on the Green Silk Road. Kazakhstan has significant potential for wind and solar energy, as well as green hydrogen production. As a leading uranium exporter, Kazakhstan plays a major role in supporting carbon-free energy generation worldwide, accounting for 43% of the global total. We also invite you to participate in joint clean energy projects. We are ready to create a supportive business environment for you to Kazakhstan. Fourth, digitalization is not just a trend, but also a necessity for our economic growth. Kazakhstan has made notable progress in digitalizing government and financial services. According to the World Bank data, we rank 24th in the e-government development index and 10th in online services, as well as 6th in government technology maturity. We are ready to work together in IT on mutually beneficial terms, including within China's Digital Silk Road initiative. Broad adoption of artificial intelligence is also essential. Experts forecast that the global AI market will grow by 25% annually, reaching $20 trillion by 2030. Our planned National AI Center in Astana will be a significant step forward, fostering skilled talent and supporting innovation. Experience exchanging in AI applications can become a driving force for economic progress. Distinguished guests, this year, more than 50 of Kazakhstan's leading producers are participating in the CIIE this year, showcasing our advancements in IT, agriculture, high-quality food production, and more. We will also show our food standards of international standards that are very popular with Chinese consumers. Thank you. Thank you, Prime Minister Bektinov. Now I will give the floor to the Prime Minister of Mongolia, Owen Orden.
Эрхэм үндэт төрийн зөвлөлийн
Honorable Premier Li Qiang of the State Council, distinguished guests, delegates, investors, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. First of all, on behalf of the government of Mongolia, I would like to express my gratitude to leaders in Shanghai and government of the People's Republic of China, as well as all leaders. Mongolia has a tradition of continuous participation in the Expo. This is the first time for Mongolia to participate in the Prime Minister's level in the CIIE under the theme of New Era Shared Future. This is also the first time for Mongolia to take leaders that have won seats in parliament to participate in the Expo. We also came with more private sectors than any session in the past. So it is historic participation for Mongolia. This year marks the 75th anniversary of the establishment of the diplomatic relations between Mongolia and China. In 2023, our trade volume reached $17.6 billion. I believe that after one or two projects, we can reach $20 billion. Our government and the private sector are confident that our trade volume can reach this goal. Distinguished representatives, Mongolia is positioned at a strategic position. Its active participation in the CIIE not only provides opportunities for carry out trade and economy with China, but also opportunities to do it with other countries in the world. In a changing international situation, Mongolia wants to deliver on 3 areas. First, artificial intelligence transition. We hope that through it we can promote high-quality development. Second, the transition from traditional to green energy. Third, we pay attention to human resources transition. We hope that in the future we can take young talents, foster more tech talents, and start from now, we can start this training and fostering. This is the 3 new goals of our government. Mongolia in the past 3 to 4 years has made a conclusion and also made a plan. In the future, we set up the Vision 2050 plan. Here I would like to stress that Mongolia is ready to carry out a business-friendly environment for all investors. We also had the transition towards transparency. Here, the Mongolian government has created a favorable legal and business environment, thus producing stable policies. We hope we can strengthen cooperation in mining, agriculture, infrastructure, industry, among others. In the past, we also had an exchange of views with Uzbekistan's Prime Minister on green energy, and we had talks with Kazakhstan's Prime Minister on transportation cooperation. Moreover, we also, together with the leaders from Shanghai and Hong Kong, exchanged views on high-end technologies, cutting-edge technologies. Yesterday, we visited Huawei company. We will also visit other companies in China today. We will also go to Shanghai Museum. The expo is not only an official platform for governments, but also a platform for cooperation between governments and private sector. We appreciate that a lot. Mongolia, in its medium to long-term planning, has a lot of alignment with China's BRI and Global Development Initiative. With China Energy and CNPC, among other companies, we also have many cooperation projects. We will also put into operation the world's fourth largest underground copper mine. Mongolia's economic growth is situated at 5 to 7%. Our per capita GDP increased by $1,000. This is also the highest growth rate in our region. With China and Russia, this is also our trade commitment. We also today want to make a historic decision on hydropower station. We hope we can decide or sign an agreement and have the ceremony on the hydropower station. We believe this is a new chapter of our bilateral cooperation. Distinguished investors, ladies and gentlemen, Mongolia is steeped in history. We have external blue sky, wide grass in our ancestors' saying. Mongolia attaches great importance to honoring its pledges. We have always honored our commitment to providing a transparent governance and a transparent business environment for our investors, and to promote mutually beneficial cooperation. I would like to reiterate our readiness to carry out cooperation with the rest of the world. In July, every year we will hold our traditional activity and festivals. We invite all of you to participate in our economic forum, know more about Mongolian people's customs, nomadic lifestyle, to open up new business and investment opportunities. It's important for countries to understand differences in views and governance. This is important for promoting world peace, a favorable investment environment, and a happy life for mankind. I wish all countries participating in the CIIE can gain more opportunities, new success. One for all for one. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, for your great remarks. Now I give the floor to Prime Minister of Serbia, Mr. Vučić.
Your Excellency, Prime Minister of the People's Republic of China, distinguished High Representative of the States, attending representatives of the international organizations, ladies and gentlemen, comrades, I have the honor to address you today at this distinguished venue, which stands as a symbol of equality. The International Import Expo is a unique global event with a very strong message and very strong symbolism. And this message and symbolism is even stronger than any commercial agreement signed here. This is a message of goodwill, of sincere intentions, and equality among nations. This venue represents a space of equal opportunities for development and business, but also for fostering friendship and mutual understanding. And I dare say that this event is the realization of the noble vision of the President Xi Jinping of the People's Republic of China, serving as a gathering place for companies, individuals, and diverse nations, cultures, and traditions. In Serbia, we do not categorize entrepreneurs as small or large, but rather as those who have the vision, faith, and wisdom, and those who live solely in the present with little regard for the future. While it is commendable for the company to be a large one, but it is even of greater significance when a company is guided by wisdom. Indeed, wisdom rather than sheer power should be the hallmark not only of companies but also state policies. And when we prioritize stability and predictability and proceed with patience and diligence, it is the wisdom that leads us towards a prosperous future. It is not strength and power that ensure survival, but wisdom, prudence, and equality. As the Chinese proverb says, a strong person overcomes an obstacle, but a wise person conquers the entire path. We are dedicated to conquering the entire path. Since ancient times, there has been a saying, birds of a feather flock together. Today, China and Serbia, united in their aspirations for freedom, independence, economic strength, and peaceful development, rejoice in every meeting, every agreement, and every act of friendship and mutual trust. The economic and any other strengths of the People's Republic of China are unmatched compared to Serbia's. Yet, spirit of our people, our desire for freedom, and the statesmanship of President Vučić and Xi enable us to stand together in wisdom and partnership as allies and as brothers. In this cooperation, the benefits of our friendship extend beyond the joy of kindred spirits. They overcome the business relations and they bring material well-being and prosperity which we are committed to securing for one another. Serbia is, I'm free to say this, China's greatest friend in Europe, and at the same time, a country renowned for its exceptional engineers, mathematicians, economists, and technologists, making it a nation of considerable strategic significance and potential. Serbia's vantage point from which many markets and opportunities can be seen. It is a free-spirited nation that pursues a peaceful policy in all directions, east and west, the north and south. Yet in our hearts, there is a special place for those who are kindred in spirit, and that is China. To fully convey what China means to us and the depth of friendship with your freedom-loving country would take far more time than we have. As the Prime Minister of the Republic of Serbia, I wish to convey that our still strong friendship crafted by the President of the Republic of Serbia and the President of the People's Republic of China is the foundation from which we will build bridges, railways, tunnels, and roads, as well as fulfill the vision of our shared future. This friendship embodies the wisdom that I have spoken of, a wisdom that enables us to foresee and shape the future. Our commitment is to follow that wisdom as a path toward an even better and more prosperous future. For us, there are no small partners or minor friends. Serbia is a country where equality is a priority, a necessity, and a core value of our people. The Serbian people endured centuries of oppression until the strength of our national will and struggle We conquered our freedom and helped secure the freedom of other South Slavic nations. Serbia was among the first nations in the world to abolish slavery, enshrining equality in its constitution as early as 1835. And as the backbone of Yugoslavia, we were founding members of the United Nations in 1945, always standing for equality and freedom. This shared commitment is why we rejoice in one another's company and stand shoulder to shoulder with China on the world stage in advocating for equality. This is why we nurture these values at home, striving to recognize and support modesty, perseverance, and collectivism while embracing big dreams and remaining steadfastly loyal to our friends. Your Excellency, Prime Minister of the People's Republic of China, the Pavilion of Serbia at this expo conveys a message of strength drawn from our national essence, even as we modernize and open ourselves to new opportunities, finding inspiration in nations such as yours. In this context, Serbia faces a significant challenge in the near future as it prepares to host the World Expo 2027, where we anticipate substantial participation from our brotherly nation of China. And Your Excellency as well. In this regard, I express my joy at the multitude of joint projects we currently have and we will continue to develop together in the future. Do join us in responsibly and amicably building a shared future under the roof of our still strong friendship. Friends demonstrate their respect by overcoming the rivers, seas, and mountains that divide them. Together, we have succeeded in all the endeavors we have set for ourselves. We will continue to triumph through wisdom for the benefit of our states, and we will work wisely, patiently, justly, and dedicatedly as friends and brothers who celebrate one another. Long live the world of equal opportunities and the friendship between Serbia and China. Thank you very much.
As instructed by Prime Minister Fico of Slovakia, I will give the floor to Deputy Prime Minister of Slovakia.
Your Excellencies, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I begin by excusing our Prime Minister, Robert Fico, due to health issues. My name is Denisa Sakova. I'm the Deputy Prime Minister of the Slovak Republic and the Minister of Economy. Whenever I visit China, I have to admit I'm truly impressed by the scale of change that has taken place in your country. The achievement, creativity, diligence and talent of the Chinese people, who are confidently pushing for modernization of the country to realize the vision, are truly admirable. Over the past decade, the People's Republic of China has transformed itself into a major world power that has made tremendous scientific, technological and innovative progress in creating a unique system of economic and commercial development, which is unique. Slovakia, as a friend and strategic partner of China, is sincerely pleased with these achievements of yours. As we are now marking the 75th anniversary of the establishment of our diplomatic relations, I am happy to note that the mutual communication between our countries are dynamic and strong. Over the past 30 years, thanks to sincere dialogue, cooperation between our countries has expanded and reached a new historic high. Trade, economic, and investment cooperation between Slovakia and China has been growing steadily. In 2023, our mutual trade turnover reached 11 billion euro, with Slovak exports to China increasing by 10% year-on-year, with China being our largest trading partner in Asia. Investment relations are also developing very actively, and Chinese investments in Slovakia are growing steadily. Currently, about a dozen projects worth a total of around 5 billion euros are under negotiation, with the potential to create over 10,000 new jobs in Slovakia. The China International Import Expo is a platform to promote international trade, cooperation, and new global partnerships. Our participation in this year's trade fair is very beneficial, as it offers us the opportunity to showcase our latest products and innovations to Chinese consumers. Slovakia is among countries from 5 continents participating in the fair, and we are proud to present our national pavilion this year, where 12 innovative Slovak companies are exhibiting, embodying our commitment to be creative and progressive. Slovakia, situated in the heart of Europe, has a rich tradition in industry and commerce, and we are further determined to strengthen our role as an important player in both the European and global markets. With our strategic location, high-quality workforce, and innovative industry, Slovakia offers tremendous opportunities for cooperation and investment. Our country is actively participating in various programs that are part of the implementation of the New Silk Road initiative, which has become a global consolidation force. By rejecting the dividing lines between civilizational, economic, and cultural differences, it has opened up a whole new way of strengthening dialogue and cooperation between states, which will make it possible to fully unite mankind's aspiration for common prosperity. As famous poet Wang Xinhua said, during the Tang Dynasty, "He who wishes to see 1,000 miles into the distance must reach a higher level." Thank you, and I wish everyone successful China International Import Expo.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Deputy Prime Minister. Now, please watch the video from DG of WTO.
Your Excellency Premier Li Qiang, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm unable to join you in person in Shanghai this week, but I'm honored to share this message at the opening ceremony of the 7th China International Import Expo. China is well known for being the world's largest merchandise exporter, accounting for $3.38 trillion in 2023. But it is also the world's second largest importer of goods, with imports valued at about $2.56 trillion. In addition, China ranks as the second largest importer of services, with services imports reaching approximately $549 billion, as alongside its status as the 5th largest exporter of services, with exports valued at around $380 billion. Trade has been a driving force for development in China and more broadly in Asia, helping raise living standards, create jobs, and reduce poverty. Trade continues to have a critical role to play as a propulsive force for growth and development, but also as a key ingredient in climate mitigation and adaptation, food security, pandemic response, and solutions to other global challenges. The rules-based multilateral trading system with the WTO at its core has for 30 years been, and we hope it will continue to be, part of the institutional foundation of global peace and prosperity. Since joining the WTO in 2001, China has been a strong supporter of the organization and plays a key role in building capacity for least developed countries, including support for their accessions and for South-South dialogue within the WTO. China's constructive role and leadership were instrumental in the successes achieved at the 12th Ministerial Conference in Geneva in 2022 and also the 13th Ministerial Conference held in Abu Dhabi earlier this year. Key outcomes included the accession of 2 new members, Comoros and Timor-Leste, the adoption of the Agreement on Investment Facilitation for Development by over 120 members, the entry into force of new commitments on services domestic regulation, an extension of the grace period for LDC graduation, and a 2-year extension of the moratorium on e-commerce. As geopolitical tensions intensify and signs of fracturing and fragmentation emerge in global trade and investment, it is crucial for political and business leaders around the world to collaborate on preserving and reforming the multilateral trading system to reflect the changing economic landscape. China's choices will be vital in this process. It has an opportunity to show leadership by taking on greater responsibilities and guiding WTO members in the right direction. Additionally, at a time when concerns about subsidies and industrial policy are becoming increasingly widespread, China can show the way on enhancing transparency with respect to such policies, a key step for fostering understanding and reducing trade tensions. A next step would be to update relevant WTO rules. I want to wish you all a very successful CIIE, one that helps businesses around the world seize new opportunities in the Chinese market. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency DG, for your kind remarks. Now I will request to watch a video message from Secretary General of UNCTAD, Ms. Greenspan.
Your Excellencies, distinguished officials, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. It is a great honor to address you today at this important event. Each year, the China International Import Expo gathers the countries of the world with the aim of strengthening economic cooperation and global trade. As the Secretary General of the UN Trade and Development, I had the pleasure of attending in person last year in the vibrant city of Shanghai. This year, while I cannot join you in person, my hopes for this expo are as strong as ever. China is one of the world's largest economies and consumer markets, and by far the largest exporter. How and what China exports and how and what China imports can have dramatic effects in places even very far from its shores. China's imports and exports have also an important impact in the global south and the opportunities of trade to diversify their economic structures. So, ladies and gentlemen, seen from the perspective of the small enterprise or the individual merchant, trade sometimes may seem trivial. In aggregate, however, trade is a force of nature. When countries engage in trade, they unlock a cascade of positive effects, ideas exchange, structural transformation, cultural understanding. This is why it is important to keep to heart Emperor Liu Bei's famous quote, and I quote, "Never do an evil act just because it is trivial. Never leave a good act undone just because it's small." This expo embodies exactly that message, with a spirit of openness where businesses worldwide can connect, forge partnerships, and contribute to a more prosperous and interconnected global economy. As I close, it is very good to see so many countries participating in this year's Expo. May your participation be a big success, leading to new partnerships, more trade, and a brighter future for all. I thank you.
Thank you, Excellency Rebecca Greenspan. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, this concludes the opening ceremony of the 7th CIIE and Hongqiao International Economic Forum. Thank you very much.